Hey, I'm Cheryl. Welcome. We're going to take a quick break from our workday to refresh our bodies and our brains. I guarantee that if you've been sitting or standing all day and looking at a screen, you will feel better when we're done, and it only takes a couple minutes. You don't need any equipment, but I do recommend that you kick off your shoes and socks or flip-flops or whatever you have going on and just be in your bare feet. All right, we're going to start by taking our feet about hip distance apart, bending our knees, placing your hands on your thighs. All right, so from the side it looks like this. And we're going to begin moving through spinal flexion and extension. So rounding your spine toward the ceiling. Good. And then letting your belly drop as your chest and chin begin to lift toward the wall behind you. And continue to move through those two moves to the rhythm of your own breath. Nice. And then go ahead, come back to standing. Okay. And we're going to bring our arms out to a T. All right. Now, depending on your level of flexibility in your arms may not be to a T. They may be a little bit lower. Maybe your elbows are bent a little bit. It's totally fine, right? Meet yourself where you're at. Take a nice deep inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to twist to one side. Good. Take a deep inhale here, get tall. And on the exhale, your back arm is going to drop. It's going to come parallel with your other arm. And then both reach up and overhead. Big inhale. Exhale, arms come back down, out in front of you. Good. Out to a T. And then we twist to the other side. Inhale here. Exhale, back arm drops, comes parallel with the other. Reach up and overhead, nice and tall, lots of energy through your fingertips. And let your arms come down by your sides. Good. We're going to interlace our hands in front of us and then press the palms of our hands toward the wall in front of us, getting a nice stretch through wrists, through fingers. Reach your arms up and overhead if that's available. If not, keep your arms back in front of you. Nice and big and tall wherever you're at. And then release that grip, bending your elbows, letting your arms come down by your sides, and give your shoulders a nice roll up, back, and down. It's a beautiful move anytime during your workday, right? When we sit or stand all day or look at a screen, we get tight through our chest and we get a little lax through our back. So this helps engage our back muscles and stretch the muscles across the front of our chest. Bring your arms up and overhead, grab one wrist, and then bend to the opposite side. Feeling a nice stretch, hopefully, between your hip, maybe up through your lats, through your arms. We are as different on the inside as we look on the outside, so you might be feeling it in different places. Inhale tall through center, grab the other wrist, and bend to the other side. Nice. Back up through center. Let your hands come down by your sides. Rub your hands vigorously together, creating just a little bit of heat. Good. And then bring your arms out to a T and cross them in front of you, okay? As tight as you can go. And letting your, the palms of your hands drape across your shoulders, okay? So from the back, it looks like this, right? Again, all of us have different levels of flexion, so meet yourself where you're at. Okay. Open your arms back out to a T. Take a nice deep inhale. And then we're going to do that again, but the other arm is going to go on top. Let your hands come behind your shoulders, reaching toward your scapula, across your back. Nice. And let that go. Arms come out to a T. Your arms come down by your sides. Give yourself another little shoulder roll here. Okay. And we're going to work on some balance and leg strength, all right? When we sit, our hip flexors get weak, they get lax, all right? Our knees get stiff, our ankles get stiff. So we're going to get into some of those spaces. When you're standing, you should be able to put about a fist in between both of your feet. And if your balance is a little bit challenged today, then you might want to take your feet a little bit wider, all right? So we're going to begin by getting nice and tall. Balance has a whole lot to do with strength. So we're going to fire everything up in our core, and then we're going to begin to peel our right leg away from the ground, bringing your knee up as high as you're able, working on a little bit of core strength. You can always use the wall for balance. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. We are building strength just as much in that standing leg. Good. And now you're going to slowly step behind you, right? This is great for our brains. We're used to stepping forward, not back. And then you're going to keep your front knee soft and let your heel drop toward the ground, getting a nice calf stretch here. Good. Your heel may not touch the ground, just totally fine. Good. And then come up high on that back toe, stretching the top of your foot, the sole of your foot, your toes, right? Good. Back down to the ground, or heel toward the ground. One more time. Come back up on that toe, and then using the strength of that front leg, we're going to step our feet together again, about fist distance apart. Good job. All right, and then we move to the other side. That left leg peels off the ground, bringing your knee up as high as you're able. One leg might be different than the other. One might be stronger, one might be more challenging. You can use that wall for support if you need to. Bringing your knee up as high as you can. Softening through that front knee, and then just slowly stepping back behind you. Soft bend to the front knee as you let your back heel reach toward the ground, getting a stretch through your calf. You can always widen your stance if that's more comfortable for you. Good. Come up on that back toe. Big stretch through the top of your foot, sole of your foot. Heel comes back to the ground. One more time, high up on your toe. Power through that front leg and come back to standing. Good job. All right. And now we're going to work just on a little bit of hip opening. Right? Our hips tend to get really tight when we sit, and sometimes when we stand all day as well. So we're going to work on a little bit of external rotation. You're going to begin to let your knee bend and come to the side. So your toe can be on the floor. This leg is nice and strong, right? You don't want to let your hip just sort of sway out. Getting strong all up through here, creating a nice base of support. And then, if you're able, you can begin to lift your foot. Perhaps it rests on your calf. If you're feeling really spicy today, you can bring your foot all the way up to your inner thigh. But wherever it's at on your leg, just make sure that your foot is not on your knee. You don't want it to be pressing on the side of your knee. Good. Wherever you're at, we're going to bring that knee back to center and set your foot down if it's lifted. Good. And then we go to the other side, right? Begin to bend that knee, externally rotate, and then your toe can stay on the ground here, or perhaps you can play with lifting your toe off the ground, bringing the sole of your foot to your calf or your thigh. Nice. And keeping everything nice and tall and tight, zipped up through your core. Knee comes back through center. Step that foot down, right? You might feel your ankles and your ankles and your calves talking to you. You can shake out your feet a little bit. Good. Give your shoulders one last roll, up, back, and down. Good. And that's your little movement break for the day. Thank you so much for playing along, and I hope to see you next time.